Man, we had a good one last night. UFC 271 pay-per-view. Man. Derrick Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa, aka Bam Bam. Man, this fight lived up to the expectations. It fully lived up to the hype. And it went about how we all expected. It was not going the distance. That's all I knew. That's all anybody that has watched these two fighters fight knew. And yeah, man, it was a lot of excitement with this fight, man. So starting out, obviously you got Bam coming out to his, the usual. Oh, tell me what I want, what I really want. Tell me what I want, what I really want. You know how he does. And then Black Beast coming out to what he always does. It was a vibe, man. So I like that part. But early in the fight, man, it was interesting because Derrick Lewis, number one, man, he was showing growth in his game. He had some nice takedowns in the first, man, using some trips out of the clinch and things like that. Things that we really haven't seen a lot from Derrick Lewis. Typically he's more of the calculated. He's gonna wait until he gets that one punch, even if it takes 3 rounds or 5 in some cases to do it. He doesn't have an issue sitting and just waiting on that one perfect punch. But in this particular matchup, man, he was utilizing some wrestling and it looked good. I mean, he had one part where he had a tied down in the first and he was getting some ground and pound. But this is where the fight kind of, I don't want to say it took a turn, but it identified something. It let us know that number one, Ty wasn't going to be nervous and Ty was not afraid, because when he went down, Derrick was getting some good shots in, but Ty gets up off the ground. And then in the midst of that, most of the time when Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, is punching on you, you cover up, you duck, you get up out of dodge. But what Ty did this time was he got up, bit down on that mouthpiece and started unleashing, throwing the punches back. And you could see in his eyes, he was not worried about going to sleep. In fact, he had that mentality that I'm not going to sleep, but you will. A little foreshadowing here. So they get out of that first round. Second round happens. And once again, you're seeing Derrick, man, being nimble on his feet, bouncing around, doing some of the flying knee stuff that he tries to do on occasion. And once again, they get into the clinch. And Derrick Lewis is still looking like, he's going to get that wrestling going and just continue to show the evolution of his game. And it all changes when my man Tai Tuivasa catches him with a mean elbow in the clinch. Oh my goodness. You talk about shutting the lights out on a man. It was timber. I know for me, man, I'm a big Derrick Lewis fan, been watching him for a while. I don't think I've ever seen him look like that in terms of being out cold on his feet, falling flat over like that on his face. It was crazy. But that was what I thought could happen. I mean, in fact, shout out to DraftKings. I even put money on it. Hey, but in the end of the day, though, man, I thought that it was a good fight, though, by Ty, because he showed a couple of things. Number one, he showed that he has a heck of a chin. He could take a punch, because Derrick did catch him with some shots. He showed that he had heart, because when he got taken down to the ground, something that we don't see a lot from Derrick, man, everything would say to panic. But for him, he was cool, calm, and collected and actually returned fire. And then when you talk about just the showmanship after the fight, man, obviously these two dudes, man, they had good banter going back and forth. No ill will, no animosity. But it was still dope to see, Ty at the end of the fight start getting his shoey game going, man. He goes to the crowd, couple of random people, take a shot of the beer right out of somebody's random shoe. Was the craziest thing ever. But it was dope to see, because obviously, man, that is becoming his signature. No different than when Derrick Lewis gets on the mic after fights and he'll say some outlandish stuff or throw his cup into the crowd for NFT. I'm glad I didn't get that one. But either way, man, I thought it was a good fight. Definitely lived up to the hype. So the biggest question now is what's next, right? What's next for Derrick Lewis now, who's coming off of 2 losses in a row? We know Cyril Gane really worked Derrick Lewis in terms of just showing the master class of MMA that Cyril Gane is at in terms of that level versus Derrick. But then you get Derrick in this particular matchup where it was going to be a slugfest in terms of slanging and banging, in the words of, Derrick Lewis, how he likes to talk. But this is one where it looked like it was supposed to be his matchup. This should favor him, but obviously he got knocked out, lights completely shut out. So what's next for him? And then for Ty, man, Ty is exciting. Ty is very exciting. Ty just put to sleep Derrick Lewis. Ty has been putting to sleep the past, 4 or 5 people he done fought against. It's been looking really, really good. He has a lot of momentum right now. What's next, though? Is it time maybe for a title shot? I don't know. Would you put him in there with maybe a John Jones or a Stipe Miocic if that fight doesn't get worked out, because I know they got some of that going on right now. But either way, let me know your thoughts on this fight between Tai Tuivasa and Derrick Lewis. Let me know your thoughts on it. And then also, who do you want to see those guys fight next, man? Because the heavyweight division is getting really, really exciting, baby. So, as always, I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, baby, peace.